Jimmy, Eric Musselman was really complimentary of your defense after the game, saying that you and I think it was Cody Martin, one of the Martins, were like the two NBA level defenders he's coached in college. What do you think of your defensive game? Because we all think about points and rebounds. Maybe what makes you such a good defender, and how proud were you of the job you did on Bain the other day?
I think defense is a combination of skill, but mostly effort and pride in it. I think defense, with me wanting to go to the next level, that's going to be big for me to try to carve out a role and get paid as a defender. That's something I take a lot of pride in, especially in my game, because obviously offensively I'm just going to try to make plays where I can, but that's not what my game's predicated on. That's not the biggest role I play for this team. I think the biggest role is defense. So I take a lot of pride in that, and each and every night Coach asks me to guard the best offensive player or the best playmaker on the other team, whether it's a point guard, 1 through 5, whatever it is. So I like stepping up to the challenge, and we've played, like I said before the game, I'd played TCU 2 times before that, and I knew Desmond Bain was a really good player, and I just wanted to go out there and do the best job I could on him.
What did you do to shut him down?
I think we had a good, solid game plan going into it. My job was to face guard and make it hard for him to catch. I think as basketball players, especially when you're a scorer for the other team, when you have to move around a lot, it gets you tired. It takes a lot of effort to go out there and score the ball at a high level like he does. So being able to get him moved, being able to make him work to catch the ball and then work to score, I think a fatigue factor could have set in at some point, and it helped me out.
Jimmy, you're the only Power 5 guard since 1993 to average more than 15 points and not make a three. So what's that kind of say about your game and the season you're having?
I think hopefully it shows a lot of people that you want to play to your strengths as much as you can. If you can go out there and play to your strengths every night, you can be successful. I think the biggest thing is a lot of guys come in here and they listen to different people telling them, you got to do this, you got to do that. But I think if you go out there and you know your game well and you play to your strengths and you get to the spots you're great in, you can really be successful. And I think it shows in the way I play and being able to get to my spots I know I can be really efficient from each and every night, and I just chalk it up to that.
Offensively and defensively, what did you all do to adjust not having Isaiah in the lineup? And if he's not available Wednesday, what do you do against a real physical South Carolina team?
I think game planning-wise, the biggest thing that we all knew is somebody's going to have to step up the scoring-wise, scoring load. Obviously, between me and Mason, we're going to try to do what we can out there because that's sort of been our roles as of lately, just being able to try to put the ball in the hole. But you got to have another guy be able to step up, and we had multiple. We had Jalen Harris go out there and play extremely good minutes. Desi Seals came out there and played, personally to me, his best game of the season. He came out there and really he was the reason we were in the game the first half. He was the only one that could really get it going. He hit big-time shots after big-time shots, and I got to give him a lot of credit. He came out ready to play and definitely did his thing for us.
Jimmy, you're having a career month scoring the ball this month. I guess just what's been the key, just finding consistency, just scoring each night out?
I think the biggest thing is just knowing how to play with the group of guys I'm playing with, knowing where my spots are, knowing how to get to them, and also them having the trust in me to take those shots and knock them down, because by no means are these like it's easy to go out there and do the things I do, but they allow me to go out there and make the plays, and they make it real easy for me and have the confidence in me to go out there and score the ball. So when your teammates and coaches have confidence in you, I just try to go out there and use that to my advantage, use that as motivation.
Jimmy, just tracking South Carolina recently. They've been playing really good basketball, beat Kentucky at home. What have you seen out of those guys?
South Carolina's a really good there. Like you said, as of lately, they're playing really well. I think they have good size and they rebound the ball really well, which has been a struggle for us with rebounding-wise. I know that's one of our weaknesses and one of our points of emphasis going into the game. It's another one of those games where we're going to have to go out there and play hard. I think defense for us is going to be the biggest thing. I don't think offense for us has been the biggest issue going to these games, is getting stops in critical moments. Not allowing these teams to go on runs late in the game to where it's hard to come back in those last 2-3 minutes. You got to fight back from 8-10 down. I think those will be the biggest points of emphasis going into the game.
Jimmy, how could a Eric obviously has really got you guys playing good defense. How much better a defensive player do you think you are than before you got here? Where have you improved in those aspects?
I think my biggest thing, which has always been my biggest weakness, is like help side defense. Always been a good on ball defender because it's easy to guard your man. But I think where I improved and where everyone's improved is just the defensive scheme of you got to be able to guard a man and a half, as we like to say. You have to be able to keep your man in front of you and then be able to help your teammate just in case defenses break down, because in the game of basketball, it's going to happen. Somebody's going to get blown by. Defense is going to break down somewhere. But to be able to recover and the next man recover for you is big, and I think that's where I've gotten better.
And I assume you probably guard Lawson. What do you think of him? Or if I'm wrong, correct me. What challenges does he present? What do you got to do against a guy like that?
We haven't gone over matchups yet. I think that's something we'll do today. And then what I like to do is after I find out my matchup, just watch some film on the guy. Not too much, not a whole bunch of just smash it to my head, but just a little bit, see his tendencies, see what guys like to do, which way they like to dribble, how they like to score, things like that. So that's something I'll probably get into later today.
Jimmy, I saw,
Smash your head, or what'd you say?
Oh, what's?
You said something about you don't want to watch so much film.
Oh, I just don't want to pound it all into my head at one time. Yeah.
Jimmy, I saw yesterday after the news came out that Kobe passed, you sent out a tweet saying he was one of your idols. What kind of an impact did he have on you growing up?
First off, you got to give your condolences to the family and friends of everybody in the tragedy. It's crazy to think about, but for me personally, I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and just like what type of impact he had. Obviously, he impacted generations of basketball players, but I think the biggest thing for me, at least, is that he taught me how to just be the best you can be individually, no matter what you're doing in life, so you can impact a future generation, you can impact the youth. And I think that's the biggest lesson that I'd like to pass on from him, is that be the best you can be in any facet of your life. Take that Mamba mentality and apply it to, for me, a basketball player, for you guys, a journalist, apply it to being the best coach, whatever you can be, so you can impact the youth and the person next to you, and you can keep moving forward in life. And yeah, he was definitely one of my idols for sure.
Speaking of Kobe Bryant in the NBA, do you feel like with what you're doing, you're going to give yourself a shot to play in the NBA? Especially, a lot of it's about specialization, and if you're a guy that can hit those mid-range jumpers and play that lockdown defense, I mean, there's a spot for guys like that. Everybody doesn't score 30 points a game. Have you thought about that? And if so, kind of what's your thoughts about it?
I think everybody in my position has aspirations to go play at the NBA, and for me, I want to, like you said, carve out a role, find what my role is, and I think what I do for this team is sort of the role I'd have to play at the next level, that guy that goes in there as sort of a utility guy, be able to lock down on defense, like you said, make the shots that you can make, be able to be effective on the offensive end. So I definitely have thought about it. It's not the first thing on my mind, obviously, with the season still in play, but it's definitely something I think about.
When Eric says you're an elite, like an NBA level defender, and Cody Martin, who's playing in the NBA, how does that make you feel? What does that mean to you?
It's a big confidence boost, especially coming from a coach with the background that he has. So he definitely knows what he's talking about. But it's also something that once he says it, you got to go out there and prove it each and every day now. So like, that's extra motivation for me, because for him to go out there and publicly say that means I got to come out there each and every night for the rest of these games and play the best defense I can play. It's not one of those things you can take lightly as something being said, and I don't take it lightly at all. So I see that as motivation for me to come out each and every night, be able to lock down whoever I'm guarding.